The corner, the corner, the corner.
Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about
The corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Yes, indeed. Cousin Ed's Corner back at you again. And today is going to be a corner connection. Corner connection here at Cousin Ed's Corner. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Hopefully, the week is starting off well. Hopefully, going into the weekend, going into holidays. All of those things are going well. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this movement, being a part of Cousin Ed's Corner. If you can, please be sure to like, follow, and share the show. Like, follow, and share the show. Also, be sure to send us a message. Now, this show right here, we definitely need for you to send a message. Let that be via DM on social media. Let that be via a text message at 762-333-2032. Or let that be via smoke signals. I don't care how you get this message back to us. Please be sure to respond to this show. This is one of the shows that I think is going to be needed. It's a needed show. Okay. So let's get into it. I was in a spirited discussion today. And it's been an ongoing discussion, but parenting and how do you deal with semi-adult children? How do you deal with semi-adult children? And I don't want to, I'm halfway leading the conversation, but I don't want to lead the conversation. So I'm going to read something to you and then I'll give my commentary and then we'll go from there. All right, let me get this back open. I do apologize. I wish I had it up before this show, but let's get it back up. Think of this as my strawberry letter to y'all. All right, here we go. If a child's an adult, age-wise, but still depends on the parent, should they do what the parent tell them to do via either curfew, chores, eat when the parent says eat, etc., etc., etc.? If the child does not do what they say do, are they being defiant or disrespectful? Should it be a situation, like situational? Or should it be all things that the parent says as long as it's not illegal, right? So this was a discussion that came up, right? Last part of it, do you think it is race-based or sex-based, right? So as a parent, is it certain race, racial makeups that have certain criteria for their kids? Or is it a man versus a woman have certain things that they expect from their child, right? So all of this is going to be situational and everything else, right? But I want y'all to sit with that for a second, right? And I'm going to give you my synopsis of what was just read and part of the conversation that I had, right? So, got a friend, their child is 21, right? Similar to my child, 20 years old. And they were telling their kid to do something, right? They said, well, I need you to let's just say, stop and get some food before you go work out. And when they told the child that, the child was like, I don't want to eat. So the parent was telling the child, hey, you need to eat before working out. I really think you need to go ahead and get something to eat. The child was like, no, I don't want to eat, right? So the parent's like, I'm telling you to get something to eat because I don't want you to get sick. I know how you are. Get something to eat. And the child said no. So the parent was asking me, what should they do? Now, let's back up 1,000 feet, high level. This is where the question comes in at, right? Is it race-based? Is it male, female? Is it age of the parent? All these factors. And it could be, all of them could be true at the same time, right? Well, let's just say Cousin Ed is from Brooklyn, New York, born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and lived through the 90s, right? I'm a totally different breed, and I played sports the whole time. So I'm a totally different breed, so I understand that. So my answer to them, I guess you already know my answer. But let's stop right here. Please, before I go into my answer, please, please, please stop what you're doing. Send a text message, send a DM, send something back on your opinion on what a parent should do in a scenario that they ask their child. Before telling them, ask their child, try to convince their child to do what's best for them, or what the parent think is best for them. Now, the kid is still maybe living at home. The kid is maybe in college. The kid is still has their car insurance paid, or the kid has a rent paid by the parent. The kid is not fully independent. Let's get that out there. The kid is not fully independent. The kid is still a dependent of this parent. And the parent is asking the kid to do something and then tells the kid to do something. Ask first, then tell the kid to do something. Send a message on what you think should happen at that point. Is the kid being defiant? Is the kid being independent? Is the kid, does he or she have some leeway in this? So stop for a second. Send your message now. Do it like American Idol, whatever. Vote, right? What do you think should happen? All right. So now we're back. Go ahead. I already put my vote in all day long. I've been saying the same thing. My whole life I've been saying the same thing, right? I, Cousin Ed, feel that for all of y'all who grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, if you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out for yourself, there's some things that are non-negotiable, right? If I tell you what to do, you may still not like it, but at that point, you're going to make the choice and decision to be an adult. When you decide I'm not going to do something, then you made the choice to be an adult, and you don't need my help, my answers, that's just the way I was raised, right? So I'm not sure about any of y'all. I'm not sure race, age, background, or anything else. But that's just Cousin Ed, right? Now, person I'm speaking to said, well, the kid should be able to express. I truly agree that you should be able to express yourself. Part of this, what was said, let me go back to this text message. Hold on. Sorry. The person says, do you think it will be a risk and cause issues later for the child down the road with authority? For example, critical thinking with decision making, etc., etc., etc. So let me try to put it in my own voice and my own tone. Will the kid be able to make decisions for themselves later if a parent always tells them what to do? Or sometimes tell them? I don't think Cousin Ed doesn't think it's that extreme, right? A kid, you should teach. It depends on how you taught your kid already. They should have a critical thinking mind to be able to think for themselves. But in the same instance, if they're going to work in this world, right, and work for anybody, not for themselves, they should be able to listen to instructions. They should be able to follow instructions. They should. Those are the things when you're not independent. When you're not independent and dependent, these are things you have to do. So if a kid has a job right now at Chick-fil-A at 21 and goes to work and they say, listen, I want you to work fries today. You have a choice to make. I'm not going to work fries today. Or I'm going to work fries today. And when you say I'm not going to work fries today, you leave. You get fired, or you make a choice. Am I going to leave or stay? Right? When I was teenage, so this is before 20s, I was teenage. Worked for this Polish guy. He was a millionaire back in the day. We did HVAC, right? Heating and air. And he asked me to do something that I felt that was not right, ethically. But I had to make a choice at that moment. This is teenage, high school. I had to make a choice at that moment. And I decided not to do what he said do, and I decided to leave. That's the critical thinking you want your child to be able to do, and say, I'm making a choice now that I'm an adult. I'm going to make this and suffer or have pleasure in the consequence behind what I do. Now, the other point that I made earlier, and I'm just recapping my conversation, is that I'm a parent, not me, but a parent says, hey, I lost my job, and, I got some bills, and I need you to put the phone bill in your name, and, I'm going on vacation next week, but I can't pay the phone. Things like that. A child can have critical thoughts and say, hey, you made this bet. You need to lie in it, right? Mom, dad, I can't help you, whatever the decision is for them, that's when they make the choices. But if a parent is trying to help a child and say, hey, before you leave work, before you come home, I think you need to get gas on the way home because I don't want you leaving early in the morning to get gas. And I'm going to wait till the morning. Well, I'm telling you to go ahead and stop now to get the gas. But I don't want to stop now. Okay. When you get to the house, leave my keys for my car that you're driving on the counter and take an Uber tomorrow out of your money. I don't see anything wrong with that as a parent. There's so many times where we let our children get away with things because, I want to be friends with them. This is Cousin Ed talking. Now, hold on. This is only me talking. Don't feel offended if whoever, the person who I had the conversation with, listen to the show. Don't feel offended. It's only my opinion. I already gave you my opinion earlier. And any other parent out there who has an opinion, who may call, whoever's in Brooklyn, maybe remember BCW, who may call BCW on me, right? Or I don't know what the Child Welfare Services in whatever state is. On me. I can deal with that from saying what I'm saying. Listen, when I made a choice at a young age, my mom said, you going to do X, Y, Z? I said, I don't want to do it, right? Guess what my mother did? She went and put me in a car and said, you know what? You go to your dad's house. I don't have to put up with this, right? They were separated. I lived between two houses. She said, until you decide to do what I say do, then you going to go over here. And guess what I wasn't going to do at my dad's house? I wasn't going to tell him no. And one of the few times where I was defiant, my dad turned into Superman. I remember it plain as day. I was sitting in my room at my desk, and my dad told me to come wash the dishes. And I said, why I gotta wash it? Now, this is the house we both live in. Why I gotta wash the dishes? He said, what you said? I said, I don't want to wash the dishes. This man flew across the room. It seemed like, you know how they say Jesus walked on water? It seemed that he just flew across. I didn't hear footsteps. I didn't see the step. The man picked me up out the chair. It was like an all in one swoop, right? He flew. He put his fist in my chest, lifted me off the ground. At this time, I was probably close to his height. But when he lifted me off the ground, we were looking eye to eye at this point. I'm looking at him. He looking at me. He said, "What'd you say?" And I had to make a choice at that moment. And I will say that I'm still alive today because I made the right choice. I said, that's what I did. I started mumbling and stuttering, and I'll go wash the dishes. It's no critical thing. The critical thinking was, do I want to live at that point, right? Now I was younger, right? I was in my teens. It doesn't matter about age to me. It's only me. It matters about what the person is doing for you at that point, right? And I'm not saying you don't give your child some leeway, right? Or to discuss something, right? But if still at the end of the day, this may offend some people also. This may offend a lot of people who listen to this show. This may offend a lot of people who listen to this show. So if my counts start going down, then I understand. But I think there's certain times in life or certain scenarios in life that certain things trump, certain people trump, or certain decisions trump, if y'all know what I'm getting at, other people's decisions, right? You can give me your feelings on it, but if I'm the one that you trust, right, what I say trumps everything, right? You may not even like it. You may be mad at me behind it. But if I say we're not doing something, or I say we're going to do something, that should honestly trump. That's how relationships change. When you don't let a man, first of all, be a man. A whole nother story, whole nother topic, whole nother show. So I'll do that show another day. This is about kids right now. But this was a hot topic today. I talked to some of my colleagues about the topic, and they are from different backgrounds. They're actually Asian American, right? Asian culture, Indian culture. They said, listen, we do for our parents. Our parents tell us to do something. They actually tell us when they get married and have kids and everything else. I don't know. I think we may have some things messed up, and it may just be me. So I want to hear from y'all. I know this is a different show for Cousin Ed, but this has been a hot topic today. Cousin Ed's Corner. Please be sure to reach out. Let me know what you think. Love each and every one of y'all. Nothing you can do about it. Have a great rest of your week. I'm out of here. Peace. Thank you for listening to Cousin Ed.